Hi, and welcome to the channel. Our indicator based on the MACD has been updated. The current version 1.3 I would like to cover in this video. What has changed? First, settings are now more transparent and understandable for the user. Second, added the ability to disable drawing of MACD charts on the price chart. These graphs are only needed for debugging and don't have any practical value to the end user. And third, the most interesting improvement, added the ability to create an alert when the indicator gives a signal to buy or sell. Alerts are very useful feature of TradingView because they allow not only send text messages, for example to mobile application, but also they can perform requests to your API. In this video we'll take a detailed look at version 1.3, its settings, features and how to set up alerts. For those who have not watched the previous video, I want to briefly note that our indicator differs from the classic MACD in that it uses two signal lines. This allows to receive sell signals earlier than the classic MACD, while not increasing the number of false buy signals. Now let's go back to settings. Checkbox Show Buy Signals enables displaying buy signals. Checkbox Show Sell Signals enables displaying sell signals. Why might we want to selectively show buy signals and sell signals? Well, for example, we are not interested in trading, but in the accumulation of an asset. Then we can leave only buy signals enabled. And in this way we will see statistically optimal entry points. I haven't checked, but it's possible that this strategy might be slightly better than DCA. Don't show buy signals on volatile market. This checkbox disables displaying buy signals on volatile market. This settings is experimental. The idea is to show only such buy signals that are formed in a stable market. But the concept of stable market is quite subjective. In the current implementation, I consider the market as stabilized if the tail of the trend line is strictly ascending or strictly descending. As a trend line, I use WMA with the period specified in this field, global trend points. And the length of the tail to be analyzed is specified here. The number indicates the number of time frames. Accordingly, the longer the tail, the more reliable our assessment of the direction of the trend, ascending, descending or volatile. Threshold for filtering weak signals. Here we set a threshold to filter out weak signals. Signals are considered weak when the point of intersection of the MACD and the signal line is very close to the zero line. Classic MACD generates a lot of weak signals, and this is one of its disadvantages. And adequate noise filtering is an important task for improving the classic MACD. The value in this field is essentially a multiplier by which we multiply the average price value to get the threshold line. As the average value of the price in each time frame, we take the value of the SMA with a period of 200. But why SMA? Because among of all possible types of average lines, we are interested in the one that would be as close as possible to the straight line. And this is the SMA because the others, WMA and EMA, react more quickly to strong price movements. To check whether the filtering threshold is selected correctly, I recommend turn on displaying MACD graphs here and then changing the threshold, try to place the threshold line so that only relatively strong crossing points go beyond the threshold. All crossing points that are between the threshold lines, closer to the zero line, will be filtered and will not be considered as signals. Such filtering is a good way to reduce the number of weak signals generously generated by the classic MACD approach. Next, divergence tolerance. Here we input a threshold for divergence detection. When the price beats the previous high, while the MACD line forms a lower high, it could mean that despite the rise in price, the upward momentum, buying pressure, is not as strong as it was. And this can be a sell signal. The threshold for detecting divergence is the percentage difference between two peaks. If the difference between the peaks is less than this value, we consider such peaks to be equivalent, and accordingly we don't look for divergence in this area, even if mathematically it's possibly there. Signals with divergence are marked on the graph with a darker color. Enhance buy signals on protracted downtrend. This is a very powerful option, allows to strengthen weak buy signals on a protracted downtrend. Why this is so important? By default, we filter out weak signals as unreliable. But let's imagine that we have a protracted bearish cycle. Then all signals will be weak because there are no significant price movements. But on the other hand, such a period is an ideal period for accumulation. That is why we have such a setting. How is this implemented technically? Weak signals, to be more specific, the ordinate of the intersection point of the MACD and signal line, are multiplied by a factor that is equal to 1 by default. But if the option to amplify weak signals enabled, then this multiplier will be the greater the longer the strictly decreasing section of the trend line is. At a certain value of the multiplier, weak signals will overcome the filtering threshold and will be shown on the graph. This is a very useful option that allows you to see buy signals literally at the very bottom. Let me remind you that as a trend line we use WMA, the period of which can be set here. Now let's move on to alerts. The TradingView platform allows you to set up alerts when certain conditions are met. For example, you can set up an alert when the price crosses the preset price level from top to bottom, or bottom to top. Indicator developers can themselves define the conditions that will be evaluated by the alert mechanism. And when these conditions are met, an alert will be issued. Let's look at the example of our indicator. To add an alert, click here plus, select our indicator, MACD by Take&Trade, and in the menu below, select the condition we are interested in. Condition for buy or condition for sell. I want to add a buy alert. Here is better to leave only once option so that the notification doesn't turn out to be annoying. In the expiration section, you should set the date after which the notification will be deactivated. You can make the notification eternal only in the premium account. In the message field, enter the text of the message that will be displayed in the notification. And now, on the Notifications tab, you can choose what exactly needs to be done. Notify in app. Sends a notification to mobile app. Show pop-up is just a pop-up message in the TradingView application, either browser or desktop version. Send email. Sends an email to the address specified in your profile. Webhook URL, the most interesting option, allows you to perform a post request to the specified URL. This can be very convenient for auto trading. Two-factor authentication must be enabled to use this option. Play sound. Simply place a sound. Send plain text. Also sends an email, but unlike the similar option above, it allows you to send text messages to different email addresses. When you are done with configuration, click Create, and that's it. Now for this asset, Ethereum USDT, we will receive a notification when our indicator detects a buy or sell signal. If you need alerts for other coins, you need to add them and configure them in a similar way. Alerts need to be added and configured individually for each coin you want to track. That's all for today. Thank you for your attention. Like this video if you find it useful and subscribe to our Telegram channel where we do automatic market analysis. The link will be in the description under the video. Bye!